Hello, this is again Angelica Sagath from the Osteopathy and Healing Center, and what I wanted to do today was share with you the information that I found from the energy book. It's an eyewitness book, and so far we've learned energy is everywhere, and energy is real, and it is natural, it is normal. So in ancient times, people used the energy of their own muscles to do work. An example of this would be to build something or to gather food. Without energy, there would be nothing, there would be no life. Energy is everywhere. Energy changes from one form to another form, and it is behind everything that happens. This concept of conservation of energy was proven by James Joule. That is, energy cannot be created or destroyed. Energy is defined as the ability to make things happen. Humans use energy to improve their lives. Energy is a natural force of the earth, like wind, like water, and energy originally came from the sun, and it was used to do mechanical work versus humans using their mechanical energy to do work. So potential energy is stored whenever something moves in the opposite direction to a force acting on it. So I'm sure you can think of several examples, and one would be an elastic band stretching. Its molecules are stretched, they move apart, and they're working against the force pulling them together. The net energy always stays the same. Natural processes act the same way, so we'll give an analogy of a barrel that rolls downhill, and it finds its lowest energy point. When the barrel rolls downhill, it gradually loses its potential energy until it's at the bottom of the slope. This actually reminds me of what one of my professors would say, that the body will always find a position so that it uses the least amount of energy. The body will always use the least amount of energy so it doesn't have to do work. Our bodies are like that barrel, trying to find its lowest energy. In the process of doing this, the body compensates to do the least amount of work. Yes, the barrel must be given energy to start, but then it continues on its own accord. So when I'm doing an osteopathic manual therapy adjustment, I am boosting the body by balancing it. This gives the body its optimal amount of energy by doing the least amount of work to continue to function. Kinetic energy, everything that moves has energy. All forms of energy are either kinetic energy or potential energy. The German mathematician Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz introduced the term vis viva, which means living force. It was close to the idea of kinetic energy that was worked out in the 1800s. This makes me think that when I'm working as an osteopathic manual therapy practitioner, I am using kinetic energy to move into balance or to correct the alignment of the body. And when the body is in correct alignment, it has more potential energy to function properly. The mass of the object is the amount of matter it is made up of. Mass is directly related to weight, which is the force of gravity pulling on an object. For example, I lift an arm, the force of gravity is pulling on the arm. The limb now being up, because I picked it up, has potential energy. When the body is balanced, the force of gravity pulling on the body or acting on the body is balanced. Now, if the body is imbalanced, the force of gravity pulling on the body or acting on the body is imbalanced. The body will need to use more energy to stay as stable as it can with the force of gravity affecting it. Electricity and magnetism. They've been known for about 3,000 years. Electricity can make magnetism, and magnetism can make electricity. It was Michael Faraday who showed this relationship. Magnetism, yes, it's another invisible force. Magnetism occurs because the Earth acts like a magnet, a big magnet. The ancient Greeks knew about electricity. In the 16th century, William Gilbert did scientific study of electricity. Static electricity has potential energy, like rubbing two objects together to produce electricity. Electricity comes from the Greek language. Electricity was the word for amber, which means electron. So you could rub amber with another object like fur, and when you rub it, it produces electricity. We use the word calorie a lot today, and that's the amount of heat energy that's needed to raise the temperature of 2.2 pounds or 1 kilogram of water by 1.8 degrees Fahrenheit or 1 degree Celsius. So our bodies burn calories or change the food that's made up of molecules into a usable form of energy that our bodies can use. And some of it is also released as heat. Measuring energy. Current. Current is the measure of the rate of flow, whereas voltage measures energy, and we have meters outside that measure the current times the voltage every second to give us the total power. And you might have seen a meter outside your house that's used to measure how much energy we are using, how much is current flowing, and the voltage measure of its energy. Our bodies have natural electrical meters. So this is amazing because humans, we receive signals from specialized nerve endings which measure energy, like the light receptors within our eyes that measure the light energy that enters the eyes. Now there's nerves that are sensitive to heat, to pressure, to light in the eyes, and vibrations in the ears. So when we're using our intuition, we are actually using our senses, and without these energy sensors, humans would have no way of sensing the world around them. The energy was discovered to travel as waves. It was given a frequency, rate of oscillation, like a pendulum swinging back and forth, or like a drop of water that spreads out as a wave, or like light waves, traveling, oscillating electromagnetic energy. Maxwell's calculations suggested that light is an oscillation of energy between electricity and magnetism. Hertz detected lower frequencies like radio waves. The energy was discovered to be in packets. When Hertz did his experiments, he discovered the photoelectric effect. Light made of particles called photons, and each photon is a packet of energy. Other energy forms came in definite amounts. Energy is said to be quantized. Energy comes in separate bundles called quanta. Quantum of electromagnetic radiation, such as UV light, ultraviolet light, is called a photon. Then the Planck constant came about. And then Einstein figured out mass energy. He came out with the theory of relativity. Energy has mass. Mass, therefore, is a form of energy. His famous equation we may be all familiar with is E equals mc squared. He published an article called The Electrodynamics of Moving Objects that showed energy and mass are directly linked. Then it was discovered that an atom had a nucleus of neutrons and protons that are tightly packed particles that have far greater forces holding it together than the electrons that surround the nucleus that held in the atom by electromagnetic energy. Other discoveries of energy include photosynthesis and energy from food, which we probably learned in school. We humans, we eat plants, we eat animals to get our energy. So digestion of food is burned or oxidized in the body, chemical energy is released. There are ways to measure the amount of energy released from food in kilocalories or joules. Intuitive-based services that have already occurred within the health system. There have been many. Intuition and higher sensing is not new at all. And Laurie Wilson says, "It is the way our forefathers and mothers lived. It is the way ancient medicines were originally discovered. It was the way information traveled from one geographic region to another. Intuition is in our blood. It is part of our DNA and has served as a highly sensitized survival mechanism." So I hope you enjoyed that. That was some points on energy, and we learned energy is real. We interact with it on a daily basis. And hopefully we're starting to get a picture of what energy is, what electricity is, and what intuition is, and what medical intuition is, and how they play a role in the body scan. In the next video, we're going to be talking a little bit more about information in the body, how it is real, and we're also going to talk more about the history of intuition. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that, and you take care. Bye-bye.